So, I would like to say hello and welcome to the first official episode of my podcast, Black Couch Confessions. And it's important to me that for the first episode, I have an unrehearsed, unannounced, what I'm saying, impromptu conversation with my mother. And it was plenty of times that I wanted to like get this out the way, like, oh, let's do it. And it ain't happened the way I wanted to, or I had so much going on, or um, it was even to the point where it was like I ain't have the lights, and I went out and I bought lights, and I got frustrated. I'm like, I'm gonna buy, the equipment. I'm gonna make it happen. So I would like to thank, my boy Lava, Steve Shannon, for providing me with extra equipment and extra resources and being able to help me on this venture. Also, my brother Maine. Got to give a shout out to my brother Kareem, who helped out. He got a mic from me, even though I ain't gonna get the mic till tomorrow, but that's a whole nother story. But there's a lot of people that help put this together, and I just want to thank all those people. But that's gonna come later on, as we start to get things rolling. So here's where this whole, I don't want to necessarily say idea, but okay. So let me say where the idea came from. The idea came from the first kind of meeting that we had in here, where I had just a bunch of men and we were all dressed up and we were talking. And what I realized is that the most safest space amongst Black men is with other positive Black men. However, no one would be here without a Black woman. And, ironically, the couches happen to be Black, but the meaning behind Black Couch Confession is that when society looks at the word Black, it automatically associates it with something that's negative or something that's down, when also us looking at Black as powerful, us looking at as Black as ebony, looking at as our people. And the comfort of a couch, you know what I mean? When you're home alone, like I remember being little and your feet be up here, but your head be down here watching TV upside down. It's like when you're comfortable on a couch, it's easy for you to confess what it is. So I've always made this a safe place for people to have conversations with me, from my barbershop conversations, times where I just went live randomly, times when I was here with a bunch of company and we just all talking. And it's like, yo, understand that you're comfortable here. So I wanted people to be able to confess what's on their heart, confess what's on their mind, and be able to be open and honest. So with that being said, I wanted to have this conversation with you because I wanted to be clear that I get it. I was in class, and during this leadership course, there's so many things I've learned about myself, and I've also been able to kind of have these conversations amongst my team, but I filter them in a way where it's like they're really personal, but I say them to like, this is how it relates to you, but it relates deeper to me. And one of the things that stood out to me the most is that insecurity that we have in our life, or things that like bother us now, or when we feel attacked, are basically insecurities of our past that are prevalent, or they resurfaced based off of things that look familiar, or I know that feeling. And when you understand that an emotional reaction has a physical reaction, then I'm able to feel that pit in my stomach based off of something I felt back then. And one of the pits in my stomach that went away is fear. And I want you to understand something, because I think we had this conversation, but I want to be very clear with you. I get it. And what I mean by I get it is like, it's been playing in my head over like 4 days. Like, there's no way I could pay you back, but my plan is to show you that I understand. Like when Tupac said that, it's like, I get it. I understand why you did what you did. I understand that it was hard. I don't understand some things, but I'm the most understanding person because God gives us grace. And in the conversation of grace, I just always wanted to share with you that the transition that you see me become a boy to a man was not you losing me, but me gaining respect for you. I feared you for so long. Like whatever, like something will be saying, she gonna hit me. You know what I mean? We lie so that we don't get a whooping, but then we get a whooping for lying. And it's like, but if we tell the truth, we gonna get, you know what I mean? It's like we tell the truth, we gonna get a whooping. Either way, I'm gonna get a whooping. So it's like I feared the attack, or I feared the physical. But then what I realized is that I respected you more for the hindsight. And I wanted to have a conversation with you, like I said, and I want you to just explain yourself and explain your story and how it mirrors what I'm saying to you, or if there's anything that's on your heart, because this is, the first episode. This is your time. This is my mother. You know what I mean? This is Miss Coco. This is how I got here. So, the floor is yours.
Well, I've been set up. And I guess that I understand why you didn't give me a preface to this. And you kind of wanted just whatever would come from my heart. But it's pretty much challenging right now because I kind of need a direction to go in. Not because I don't know what to say, but because there are so many things I can say. I don't know how long this podcast is. I don't really want to go.
Say, watch this. Say the first thing that comes to your mind.
What I'm going to say is I'm proud of you. When you guys were growing up, that whole, you referenced that Tupac song, and the fact that you and your sister had different fathers, and the fact that her father was there, your father was not. And I listened to some of the things that he was saying in that song. It always hurt me because I looked at my choices. Y'all didn't have a choice, Like Rod used to always say, I ain't asked to be here. Y'all didn't have a choice. So I brought y'all here and I did the best that I could as a single mother. And I remember a young lady asking me, she was pregnant, and the father was debating whether or not he was ready to have a child. And she asked me, did I think she was being selfish for keeping her baby? And I said, yes. And I know it hurt her. We talked about it later on, and I know that it hurt her. But to explain, had I known that it would be such a personal effect to you, I never liked when Father's Day would come and people would give me Father's Day cards. Oh, you're a mother and a father. No, I'm not. I am a woman. I am a mother. That's all I know how to be. I raise my children to the best of my ability. Their fathers are important. Now, whether it is that they see themselves as important or show up as important, that's on them. I can only do what I can do as a mother. Mm-hmm. And the areas where y'all fell short as a result of not having a father present in the home, present in your life, your father in particular, because there were a lot of strong, powerful men that came into your life, influenced who you were, influenced your decisions, helped me as a friend, and was there for you. It didn't stop you from wanting a relationship with your father. And I remember telling your father that I was pregnant. His immediate response was, so what are you going to do? And I'm thinking, have a baby. I remember shortly thereafter him saying to me, I don't want no kid. And I was like, okay, my decision to have my baby ain't got nothing to do with you. Because at that time, I'm 19 years old. I'm 18 years old. I'm making a decision based on some areas where I felt like my parents fell short and they didn't show me enough love and they weren't there for me. And I hadn't developed any friendships that were substantial. So I think that my thinking, if I can be honest with myself, was I'm going to have this baby and I'm going to love this baby so much. And this baby's going to love me back. And it's going to be a love can't nobody stop. Can't nobody take. Nobody ever told me how a baby loves you is they cry for the things that they want. Nobody ever told me that, when they get hungry, they cry and they have the expectation that your bond is strong enough for you to understand what they need, understand what they want, be there at their beck and call, be accessible to them to meet their needs, right? Mm-hmm. So it was very stressful in the beginning. Now I got this baby and I'm looking like, I can't fix all this. And I'm doing the best I can. But every time I fall short, I'm thinking, he's not going to love me back like I thought it was going to be because I don't got what I thought I was going to have. I spent a lot of years with that same premise. Like the things that I gave, the way that I loved, the way that I tried to groom my children was all based on the information that I had. Even to today, you could come and you're adults now. And you could come and you can ask me a question, and I can only answer that question based on, I can only answer that question. I'm sorry.
No,
That's
you're
my
fine.
house alarm.
Listen, things happen.
I can only answer that question based on my level of information. And my level of information is usually going to be based on experience.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely do I just snatch something out the sky because I've seen it on TV or read it in a book. More times than not, when I respond, it's based on my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's a blessing and a curse because your experience doesn't necessarily have to be mine.
Right.
But if you have a situation and it's similar to a situation I've been through, I'm going to have an emotional response based on those feelings I had, just like you just said.
Right.
You know, so, okay, I'm going through this or that with my significant other. And if I've ever experienced that, leave them because it's going to end like this.
Right.
They're going to do like that. Or, you know, or my kids are doing this, that, and the third. Well, just hug them because, you know, all they need is love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I try to remember that your experience won't be mine. But more times than not, I'm going to respond based on emotion and based on what it is that I've been through.
And that's fine. You know what I mean? I'm able to interpret that now. I think like that's the reason why, you know, I actually had a conversation with a close friend, and I made it clear, like, that's why my mom wants to see me. You know what I mean? Because the boy that you groom, the child that you've raised, and the tradition and conditions that you kind of placed on me is like you're watching them manifest. And it's even the ones where it's like, that one's a little delayed. I expect I expect you to get that one a little quicker, but I see you catching up. And it's cool now. It's cool. You know what I mean? There's 2 points I want to hit. Like I said, I didn't want to keep it here long, but there was 2 points that I really wanted to hit. One that I wanted to hit is that it was never your responsibility, and I don't want you to feel like you failed because you didn't. You didn't. I understand. I tell people all the time, I'm the most understanding person you meet. I understand. And I want you to know I love you. I love you from the bottom of my heart, and I get it. You only gave me what you had. And the reason why it hurts so much as a parent is because if we give our child our all and they don't know that that's all we have to give and they're in search for more, like you said, it's like, that's all I got. And for me, what I was always trying to get you to see is that I'm okay with what we have. Like what you have, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna figure it out. And 9 times out of 10, it has always been a learning experience for me. Whereas if I didn't have the information, I had enough to go off on, and I could figure the rest out. But don't beat yourself up over what you didn't have because you gave it all to me. I personally don't know how to have an abundance of too much things except for love. That's the reason why when somebody needs something, it's like, I'm quick to buy it, or let me, you know what I'm saying? I know you like these kind of chips. Because I knew what it felt like not to have. I spent a majority of my life in a position of wanting, but the things that I want are only the things that I want to give to other people. The confliction of wanting love from my father had nothing to do with you and his absence, but more so to do with the void of what if. So I had to start living with the complete feeling in my heart of knowing that, like, I'm gonna raise a prince to become a king based off the kingdom I created.
And although I get that, and I respect that, understand that, and I believe that, it doesn't stop what I feel, because like I always told y'all, I remember when you were Zoe, you used to be like, oh, Mom, look what I did. We did it, Mom. We got this. We got that. And I'd be like, you did that. I'm proud of you. You did that. I was like, if I say take the garbage out right now and you don't want to, you're not going to take it out. It'll be sitting there tomorrow. You make the choices that you want to make and you do what it is that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
What we want to do, make a way. What we don't want to do, make an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, you made things happen in your life based on the information you had. And I always believe that, like, I made a choice based on the information I had. This dude said, I don't want no parts of it. And a part of me said, how do you have a child on this earth and you ain't a part of their life? He rapping. You know, when the baby come, you know, he ain't got to deal with me ever again. I'm all set. But he cannot have a child on this earth and like totally disregard that child's existence.
Right.
I never knew that was possible. Now I know, ugly situation, worst way of having to find out. But one thing I always said, I teach you to fish. If I give you a fish, you'll eat for a day. If I teach you to fish, you'll eat for a lifetime. Everything that y'all have asked me, I've shown you how it is that I've done it. And giving you the opportunity, like, look, you can do it too. I don't invent the wheel. Ain't nothing magical. Ain't nothing up my sleeve. You know, if you want to do it, put forth the effort. Anything you want to do, you can do. Anything you want to be, you can be. And I've tried to, like, if I found a way or knew a person or had a link up and you say, oh, well, I want to try this. Oh, okay, well, let me call Brother Kia. Oh, let me call Brother Blackman. Oh, let me call Sister Sylvia. You know what I'm saying? Pastor Ray, let's get some people involved that can help you reach what you want to reach. I've not been there. Not exactly sure how to get there, but I'm exactly sure who to plug you in that could plug you in to somebody that can get you plugged in.
So notice what you said. And I'm going to leave it on that note. You said, I always said we. I never did none of this on my own. I don't care what anybody say. This is from the establishments to career. I did not do anything. I didn't do it on my own. So when I graduated and I say we did it, and people are like, no, you didn't. No, we did it.
Well, wait, let me clarify that so that it's not taken out of context. Be clear, it takes a village to raise a child.
Mm-hmm.
That same village will follow the tribe to the end. We do it as a collective, but make no mistake about it. If you got a child that has zero willingness, if you got a child that is content in the place that they are with zero desire to grow or be anything different, it does not matter what you pour into that child. If I say to you, you can have the world, it's a funny thing about a brain. Your brain is the strongest muscle on your body. Your brain can tell your heart to stop beating. If your brain dies, your heart could stop. They could jump it back in. You know, your blood could start flowing out of you and they add some more back in. But if your brain dies, your body dies too. So if you have a child who has not developed the ability to allow their brain to live and thrive and grow and receive, it doesn't matter what you pour into them. So like you nurture a child that has a desire. Mm-hmm. You nurture a child who's like got their brain and is stimulated and they want some things. And even if they like all over the place, I want to play basketball. Think I want to play hockey. Want to play soccer. I didn't like that. Playing tennis. Like you was all over the place. You had your hands in everything. I don't care where we went. I don't care how long we was there. You never met a stranger. You made a friend everywhere, like friends. Like, Mom, this is my friend Billy, and his mother lives over there, and he got 2 sisters. They got a cat. Did you not? Like, how did you find all that out in the last 5 minutes? And it's because your brain was always moving. You were always inquisitive. You were always engaged. You always wanted more. So I nurtured that thing. Mm-hmm. Am I saying give up on the kid that like seemingly doesn't want nothing? No, you go to them and you keep trying. Mm-hmm. But what I say to you is, that it doesn't matter how hard you try if they don't get up and move. Yeah. You got to move something. Right. You got to do something.
Every mile
you can rock. You can rock whatever you want. But if you don't do something, if you don't get up and move towards having that thing, all it is a want. All it is a dream. So like, although we assisted you, we were in the gap. because God works through people. So God placed us in your life. You know, you're not mine.
Mm-hmm.
God charged me with the responsibility of guiding you. You're God's. So I give you all that it is that I have, and I guide you in the best way that I know how. And you go where it is that you go, and all your dreams are manifested as a result of you having a vision and putting forth the action to that vision. I'm proud of you. Yeah, do I say like I ain't have nothing to do with this? Yeah, I had something to do with that, and I gotta honor my place in that. But I can't take no credit. Like God is first. And I sit back and I do the best that it is that I can do. Cause see, and I'm gonna tell you, it's a little selfish. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be quiet. It's a little selfish piece that go with that too. Cause if you fail, I don't want no credit for that either. Yeah, I ain't do that either. Yeah, you jacked that right up, didn't you?
Like
You know?
made his dime.
So I mean,
that's all I need. That's all him, dog. I ain't got nothing to do with
I
it.
give you the information. And my hope is that with the information that it is that I share with you, you'll go forth and you'll blossom and you can do for someone else what it is that I did for you because I'm only a vessel.
Well, I appreciate it for having you. This is actually going to be part 1. It's going to be a 4-part series of this. And you know what I mean? It's a whole thing with this, man. Get crazy. But yes, this is part 1. So on this Mother's Day, I want to give you a flowers while you're alive. You know, I look like, you see how I did that? Boom. You know what I mean? Back out the flowers like that. You know, practically pulled them out my pocket. But again, I love you, Mom. Thank you for being, you know, the first person, you know what I'm saying, to bless the stage. And, you know, I'm going to have you here plenty more times. Again, this is Black Couch Confessions. I'm your boy, Shay, along with Mrs. Shay. You know how I got here. Miss Coco herself. I want to thank you for tuning in. Peace.